Hey friends, welcome back to Rita Talks. I'm Rita, and on this YouTube channel, I just share some of the thoughts, ideas that I've been thinking about, some of the things that have been happening in my life. In today's video, I really don't have too much to talk about. Today was a kind of a good day. I think today was a good day because um, I realized this thing that whenever I have a deadline for something, or like I have a forcing factor, I'm able to make so much more progress than when I don't. And a good forcing factor that I've been thinking about today is that I have this student of mine who's working on some project that's related basically to large language models and natural language processing. And basically, just from the forcing factor of having to teach her about some concept that she was not understanding, uh, it forced me to understand that concept on a deeper level and just basically go down to the details to be able to explain it to her. And it's really satisfying when these things happen. When like originally I was doubting myself about, would I be able to do this, or am I qualified enough to do this? And basically, uh, I've proven to myself that I can actually do it. And basically, like sometimes you think that you're not ready when you are, and the only way to test that out is to try stuff, to try more stuff, even when you think that you're not ready and that it's not gonna be good enough, and that you don't think you're gonna be good enough. But the more you put yourself in that situation, the more you have this forcing factor to grow, and that's something that I've realized in my life, and that I've been trying to implement as a mechanism in my life, where whenever I feel like something is challenging, I don't shy away from it. I actually lean into it. And basically, whatever happens after that, I just I just come out stronger, and I just like definitely like build this inner confidence in my abilities, where I know that I can figure stuff out just because I've been training myself to do it over and over again. And I guess that's what running these half marathons that I've been running this year has been all about. It was just about proving to myself that despite the odds, I can do stuff that seems super challenging and that seems maybe impossible to some. But I can do it, and basically, it's helping me build this inner confidence in my abilities, that I can figure stuff out, and that I have this ability to push through, and and basically it's this confidence that nothing is as complicated as it seems. And so just to not get intimidated by how scary something seems, but just uh, go back to the basics, start from the base principles and build up from there. And when you break down everything into base principles, everything becomes easy. And this is something that I've learned over and over again in studying mathematics, software engineering, all of this stuff, is that as long as, if you take the time, if you don't let your initial ignorance basically scare you, there's always an underlying structure that you can get a hold of, and that you can learn, that will simplify things significantly. And basically, in the end, you will realize that things are way easier than they seem. You just need to figure out what the structure is and be patient with yourself, to try it over and over again until you figure it out. And that's a muscle that I'm trying to build. Like this ability to try over and over again. It's definitely something that I'm working on, and that I'm working on building like this stamina to keep going and keep searching for the solution, even after hundreds of setbacks. That's the aim, and I'm getting there little by little, just through doing this. You know, whenever something scares me, run towards it rather than run from it. I mean, there are two different things. Like, it's not always the case that whenever something scares you, run towards it. But when it's, I don't know what's the framework behind this, but there is definitely a like a divide to happen, like that divides between the stuff that you're scared of and that you need to run towards, and the stuff that you're scared of and that you need to actually run away from. It's not clear to me at this point what that boundary is, but maybe I will figure it out. Maybe I will figure it out at some point. But yeah, I just feel like basically pushing my boundaries little by little, one action at a time, is really allowing me to gain um, this sense of confidence that's basically like it just goes back to this concept of proof, building proof and evidence for myself. Proof is worth more than 1,000 words, because basically it's indisputable. It's something that my body has witnessed, my brain has witnessed with its senses. And sometimes we shouldn't trust our senses, but most of the time we trust them for a reason, because they're more or less accurate of representation of the world. Maybe I'm saying complete nonsense, but yeah, like just having that reality, it's indisputable to have this evidence, and so it just helps with this, not like it just helps build this peaceful confidence, or quiet confidence. That's genuinely one of the most important things in my life that I'm trying to keep building on, because it just gives me, it's like this superpower. Like, come on, bring it on. Whatever you throw at me, I will take it and I will run with it and I will excel despite it. And in some sense, it's almost like a challenge. Like, whenever something is challenging, I'm actually more likely to complete it and like get it done than when it's not that challenging, because having uncertainty around whether or not it's gonna get done um, is the driving factor. Like, that's the driving force. Whereas if you're 100% certain that something is gonna happen, like, you lose the excitement. There's no will I succeed or not, and basically like I start to get complacent, and so in some sense I need to stay on my toes. Maybe I will evolve at some point that to the point where I don't need that, basically, to stay on my toes to get something done. But I don't know if that's a good thing. I would rather do stuff that I'm excited about, and that seems challenging, rather than stuff that I know for sure will pan out, because where's the fun in that? Like, actually, the fun comes from not knowing whether you're gonna succeed or not. Like, thinking that, okay, my inputs are there, the outputs are not within my control, but how cool would it be to have the outputs happen? So it's like, I don't know. I'm, I was trying to think of an analogy, but my brain is too dead at this point to think of an analogy. I don't know. I think I was thinking of a gambling analogy, um, but I wouldn't know how to expand on that at this point in time. But yeah, this is. I just find these things funny. My God, my brain. I make myself laugh because I sound sometimes ridiculous, as you might have heard. Anyway, I'll blame it on my my sleepy head, and my eyes are starting to close because I'm just so exhausted today. I mean, I'm not so exhausted, but it's probably time for me to go to sleep. So yeah. Anyway, I think that's all I had to talk about for today. Yeah, basically just to wrap up, do stuff that you don't think you can do. Push yourself to do it, even though, like, embrace the possibility of failure. And once you embrace the possibility of failure, like, basically you're probably overestimating your failure rate, and probably your failure rate will be lower than you've imagined. And so you just have to try and give it your best, and you'll be surprised at how many times you actually achieve things that you didn't think you were possible, that you were capable of. And yeah, it's all about pushing that mental boundary, like bringing that mental boundary over and over again. Um, so yeah, thanks a lot for tuning in today. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the night, whichever time of day it is where you are right now. You can click here to watch my previous video on this channel, so the one right before this one, and you can click here to watch my latest video on the channel overall. Thanks again for tuning in. Bye for now, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye bye.